That would be insane, dude. I mean, that would be absolutely insane.
You
But
know, Kentucky doesn't want Carolina in the SEC of basketball. I mean,
yeah,
just think of the recruiting. I mean, Carolina recruits the South anyway, but just think of the recruiting base that they can expand now down into the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Floridas. I mean, they're gonna be. It's gonna be interesting if they move.
yeah, but it would make sense that they'd move there. I mean, where else are they going to go? I mean,
Yeah.
football is not they're not doing too bad there in football as well,
No, and it
but
helps them in
basketball,
football. I
yep,
mean, it helps Mac Brown recruit. I mean, if they can get in the SEC in football, watch out. Then he really he opens up his recruiting base.
it opens up everything for him, and why wouldn't it?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
These guys were trying to act like that the North Carolina football program makes more money than the basketball program.
Oh,
And I
they're
was like, hey,
crazy. Shut
hold on.
up. No,
Yeah. I
no.
mean, I guarantee you there's just as many people. Team doesn't seat 24,000. I
Yeah,
wonder how many they averaged per home football game at North Carolina. Because I seen it on TV and it looks half empty.
yeah. I would say probably 30,000 max,
Yeah.
max. But you know what? You still with North Carolina, the money they make in basketball by just going
Off the
into
gear.
off gear and it football surely makes more money probably because of the sheer numbers of
Hmm.
it, but it ain't like it's a huge difference because you look at
Well,
Kansas.
I wonder what the ACC. Something to look into. I wonder what the ACC basketball contract is compared to the ACC football contract. Like how much more money is involved. I bet it's close
It would be
because
close.
yeah,
Well,
because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Clemson is it in football in the
that's it.
ACC. That's it.
Well, it used to
I
be
mean, there is
Florida
no
State. It used to be Florida State with them, but
yeah,
not now. Yeah,
and they've had a down 10 years. They're kind of like Nebraska. I mean, they've had a bad 10-year run.
yeah.
So
Ever
I
since they
mean,
got rid of Jimbo Fisher, they haven't done anything.
no, you're right.
And I think they made a mistake not hiring Deion Sanders because they thought Deion was a joke. But I thought that was a huge mistake by Florida State.
Hmm.
Huge mistake. I mean, you
Yeah,
hired
and you know
Deion.
what? He may end up there. You never know. He may end up there eventually.
Yeah, I think Deion, if he can continue to get more players where he's at, I don't see Deion leaving because it's not because for him he got money, so
Hmm.
it ain't like
Right.
he ain't gonna move for the money. And I think right now with the sponsors and the donations that he's getting there to help black owned or black universities, I just
Hmm.
Drew. I think that for him, the only reason why he would move would be for money, really,
Right. He
or
don't
to
need
coach
money.
against right or to coach against those guys. So, but if he leaves, then what happens to black college football? It goes to the
Right.
toilet,
Hmm.
and he has a chance to put Jackson State because people don't understand what all he's done there, how he's
Oh
transformed
yeah,
that university.
He's transformed it. I mean,
Oh,
they got new dorms. They got a new stadium. They got
well
they
they re
got
no
new
they well they
uniforms.
no well they redid their
They br-
stadium, but they got a new practice field. They didn't have a practice
yeah.
facility. Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing in higher profile academic teachers.
Yep.
I mean, they're having to upgrade the whole university.
Right, right, and they've done that because of him. It's like they had this thing on where the cheerleaders and the marcherettes, whatever they're called, they were
Hmm.
coming in and having uniforms, and the band only had one. And he goes, "What y'all? What y'all? What? Okay, what sizes are y'all? What
Hmm.
colors do you want here? No, you." And he went to Under Armour and whomever, and they said, "Boom, we need
Yep.
uniforms. Okay, here you go."
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, his future he could be an ambassador just for HBCA,
yes,
right? I
yes,
mean, he could do that and start getting them a TV contract, get them, I don't know, they're going to have to start playing bigger schools,
right.
obviously.
But
I
the
mean,
whole thing is with HBCUs is that he has done a great
HBCU, sorry,
job.
not
Yeah, it's okay.
HBCA.
He's done a great job of now getting more of them on the map because people don't realize of the HBCUs back in the day, there's probably 20, 30 NFL Hall of Famers who came out
Hmm.
of those universities back
Most
in
of
the
them
day.
from Grambling,
Yep. Yes. And
Howard, Grambling or Howard or
Walter Payton is
what's
from
that?
Jackson State.
Jackson State. There
Yeah,
it is.
he's from
And then
Jackson
and
State.
that Jerry Rice is
Jerry
from
Rice was down
Jackson.
there, so I mean, dude,
Yeah,
it's not like that. The talent is not. Well, Jerry was Tennessee State, but
Tennessee
yeah,
State.
but
Yeah.
they are. He's transforming that. So, but I'm
Hmm.
with you though. Back to the other thing. With the merging of all the conferences, there's going to end up being three big conferences. Everybody says
Yep.
four. I go. There's going to be three big conferences. There's going to be SEC
Yep.
first, then the Big 12, excuse me, the Big 10,
Big Ten.
and then the Big 12. That's what
And
it's
the
going
Big
to end
12
up.
is going to have to. The Big 12 is going to have to absorb the Pac-12, basically.
Or most of
I
a
think
lot of those people,
or
yes.
most of it.
They're going to have to they're going to have to absorb at least 5 because I think you're right. Stanford, Cal will go to the Big Ten because of academics. Both of
And
those,
possibly
and
Washington.
well, Washington was going to come to Pac-12.
Yeah.
They say, excuse me, the Big 12. So that's what they said they were going to come there because it's better for them to be there than this. But the question is, are you like you asked, are they going to leave Washington State? Is Oregon going to leave Oregon State?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when the universities come down to it, they don't care.
Well, and then the Big 12, and they could expand. With the ACC. If
Add a
Clemson,
couple.
Florida State, North Carolina, is North Carolina leave Duke? I mean, they leave
That's
that
what I'm
rivalry.
saying. That's my
Yeah,
point. I would think North Carolina would be kind of like, well, we're
I
not.
think.
It's kind of like Texas and Oklahoma. We're not going to take one
Mm-hmm.
without the other. We need
Right.
basketball. We need that rivalry. Duke, North. Can you imagine Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Auburn, all of them? God dang, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Tennessee.
and yeah. Well, and I think, and I've seen Duke as possible to go to the SEC too. I've
Yeah.
seen that it's possible to join. So I don't know, man. It's going to get crazy. Eventually, they'll just be divisions.
Well,
You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
Duke would be the same as would Kentucky football. Duke football, Kentucky football.
yeah,
Aren't
pretty
they
much.
basically the same?
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
much.
much. I mean, Kentucky's gotten a little better since Stoops got there.
But I'm saying they're basically the same team when you look at it. I mean, both of them do
Mm-hmm.
about the same things. They win about the same amount of games. They recruit the same type of players because you almost
You
have
know
to.
what happens to NC State? What happens to Syracuse? What happens to Wake Forest? I mean, Wake had a good year last year in football. What happens to those schools?
Well, they're going to join, whatever the
Yeah,
USA conference, I guess. I mean,
right.
I don't. Those teams are going to
I mean,
be.
do they go to the Pac-12? I mean,
Well, I think you're going to have a fourth conference with all of the also
mm-hmm.
brands, if you want
Yep.
to call them that.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys all together. Because do you leave Utah? Does Utah not come with BYU to the Big 12? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because BYU's already here. So is BYU trying to get rid of
Mm-hmm.
Utah, or they want them at. So at one time they were in the same conference. So now what?
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of things to throw out there on how that works, but it's going to be interesting
And then
to see.
Miami, what happened to Miami? Does
Miami,
Miami go to they go to
Miami
the
won't go to
SEC?
SEC. I think that the Miamis and the Wake Forests and all of them joined together.
Louisville. Do they go to the SEC?
Well,
They
I'm
go
still
to
mad the
Big
Big
12?
12 that didn't take Louisville a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That
look at
made
that.
me mad.
They got that. They're on par with Oklahoma State athletics. Louisville is
Yes,
with baseball, basketball, and football.
football.
I
When
mean,
they
football, Oklahoma State football is a little better, but baseball and basketball about the same.
about the same. That's why I thought Louisville would have been a great pickup, but of course OU and Texas did not want them. So there you go. That ended that. But you bring in those guys that we could have brought in a few years ago, made the Big 12 stronger. But Texas and
Virginia
Oklahoma,
Tech would make the Big 12 stronger.
yep. But
And you have a natural rivalry with West
West
Virginia
Virginia,
right there.
bring that back to where it used to
Yeah.
be. But, I just think each conference is going to be, 10 is going to be 16 to 20 teams between the
Mm-hmm.
SEC,
Yep.
the Big Ten, and the
Yeah.
Pac and the Big Ten. Excuse me,
Yeah, I agree. You
Big
have
12.
60 teams divided between 3 conferences, basically.
That's basically what you're going to have. That's what I think you're going to end up having. And then you're going to have those other 20 that you had mixture that got left behind as
And
a
then
group
if you
into
do
the
that,
fold.
you gotta have a
16
16 team
Yeah,
playoff.
and I agree with you though. I like what you said, except that to me, I think the top 4 teams they automatically get a bye. I
Like you
just
can do
think
it that way
I
too.
think those 4. If you're the top 4, you automatically get a bye, and
Well,
then
the only reason I think that maybe they do that home field on the first
16-1.
round is because you probably won't play with that big a conference. You probably will not play as many BS games at the first of the year. You're probably not going to have 3 games against non-cons
Yeah,
with
but
the 60. Yeah. So you probably have 12 game schedule.
but the
Probably.
whole thing is they can't go by the loss hurting them. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, if you have a Texas and Alabama, which they're going to play each other, and it's a close game, how do you take that as a loss, as an L? You don't move 8 spots. You drop a
No.
spot, maybe 2, because you got beat. But you still was a great game. And to me, as long as the best
Hmm.
teams play each other and the games are close, I'm cool
And
with
and
whoever
you probably
loses.
don't have a championship game
No,
out
you
of
have
it
to take
either.
the championship game out. I agree with
Yeah.
you talking about that, how many teams have lost a chance to go
Oh yeah.
because of that. So, you lost a chance against Kansas State. So there's
Hmm.
that
Nebraska
opportunity.
cost Nebraska a couple times.
Yep,
They
yep.
get Texas and OU both.
So I just think I'm agreeing with you on that deal. So, but anyway, okay, let's go ahead. We're going to break down the Thunder.
Give me
You've
give me
had it.
the Chet update. I
Uh,
watched a little bit of their game the other day.
I watched him against Jabari. Jabari was just pressing
Hmm.
like a mother. But I agree with that NBA executive. Chet can't get by anybody. He cannot get to the basket in the half court
No.
setting. He's so tall, and these guys are so lanky. He's got good handles, but he's going to settle for jump shots. He's not going to be
Right.
able to. He's going to eventually be able to do the spin moves like he took. He made a nice move on Jabari with a nice left hand little jump hook, which was really really nice. But Chet stole it. Jabari stole it from him twice and blocked the shot once. So I'm going. This is what he's going to see. And I was talking to our guy Billy Jams just a while ago, who's a huge Chet fan, and I told him, I said, Chet is exactly what I said he's going to be: 11 points, 6 to 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 4 assists, 3 to 4 assists. That's what he's
And
going to
if he
be.
plays 55 games, you feel pretty confident, feel
Right.
pretty good about that.
That's where he's going to be because he can't got. You have to be in the league to score points. You have to be able to get to the basket to score a bunch of points. If you're limited to jump shots, it's going to cut down on your scoring out. You have to be able to get to the basket. And if he's going to only taking 1 2 shots at the basket a game, that's it. And Josh Giddey is the one giving him all the points as it is when he's attacking. So, and Josh, dude, what is he doing, Drew?
I
Stop
don't know.
playing him.
Yep.
Of the top 8 guys, 7 guys last year, he's the only one playing this year.
Yep.
And you even said it. Can you afford to get him hurt? What if he
No.
tears an ACL or shreds an ankle or something? What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, I know what they're doing.
I see if he's on the trip, sitting on the bench, hanging out in the crowd, maybe practicing with the guys a little bit, but he doesn't need to be going full bore in freaking summer league.
But he doesn't know how to
And
do anything else.
I know that's why he can't. That's why he should be playing.
But he's played every game. Now,
I
those
know,
first
and
3,
a lot too, and not just a little. He's been playing quite a bit.
yeah, he's playing 26, 28 minutes.
That's quite a bit
It's a
in
lot.
summer league.
That's a lot. But you know what? He is who he is. And here, I'm gonna throw
Hmm.
up the box score, Drew. This
He
is
looks good too.
Dude, he looks good,
Against the
man.
high schoolers.
Well, no, but he does the same thing against guys in the league. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, he is who he is. He can play. There's no question he can play. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I did the Thunder box score, if I can find the stupid thing. But anyway, I did the summer. Okay, this is what I feel bad about our boy here. Saturday night he had Jabari. Tonight he goes against Paulo. And
Hmm.
Paulo is a beast, Drew. You
Oh
were
yeah.
right on
Well, he looks good,
the
doesn't
money.
he?
He is a monster, bro.
He's gone
He
up
is a
another level.
monster.
He's elevated his game in the next level already.
I mean, I'm just looking at him. I'm just going, this kid can flat out play, Drew. He's got everything
Mhm.
that you could possibly want and look for. And I'm just going, man, the kid is
10
just,
years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to say, okay, where are these guys 10 years from now? And I promise you, he's going to be the best one of all of them.
yeah,
He's going to be better he's going to be a lot better than Chet. He's going to be better than Jabari. He's going to be the best player, I think.
yeah, because when I'm sitting here, Drew, and I'm looking at the box score the other night, here is the box score. And for some reason, it's not on my list for some reason why. And I don't know. I've got to check this thing because it's messed up. But I don't have the Thunder box score on my deal. But when I looked at it, Drew, here it came down to. Giddy had 14 points on 40% shooting. Okay. And
Yep.
with 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Wiggins, 12 points on 55% shooting, 4 rebounds. And the thing with Wiggins is, Drew, he'll come up and big, and then he'll disappear. Robinson Earl 4
Mm-hmm.
points. Chet had 12 points on 30% field goal shooting. But Jalen Williams has been the biggest surprise for me, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
15 points. He's averaging 15 points a game. I
Yep.
mean, he has been the absolute biggest surprise for me as far as the Thunder is concerned. Just watching this kid play, Jalen Williams, he is, and from going to somebody that I had no clue who he was, because
Mm-hmm.
you and I both were like, who the Santa Clara? Man, what a great eye by Sam Presti picking this kid up, Drew. He can play. He can play. Have you watched him at all?
Nah, a little bit here and there. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's playing good right now. We'll see.
Well, I mean, I know he's going against rookies, but my thing
Not
with
a
him,
he's a rookie. I mean, he's playing up to his competition. So
yeah, but I'm watching him and I'm just like, man, this kid, he's, and I think what it is more than anything, like I've said, Drew, I think the biggest thing with this kid is that he's mature. And
mm-hmm.
he stayed there 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
been there, and that's the thing. I look at him, but dang, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
3 first-round picks to 4 first-round picks in a second
Yeah.
to move up to get him. I'm just going, he's an average guy. You moved up
Mm-hmm.
for him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have
Yeah.
got Kevin Durant.
You
You could
look
have
at
got
the.
Kevin Durant back for 4 firsts or 5 firsts or 4 firsts in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just got to show me something. And what I see is I see a young guy who has some potential, but he ain't worth 4 first-round picks and second-round pick to move up to get. I don't. But it's like you had said, they knew who they were going to draft, and so they're just going to take the guys that fit around Chet
Yep.
to make
Yep.
Chet look as good as possible.
That's exactly what they did. I mean,
But
they piece that together around Chet.
yep. That being said, let's take time to thank our guys at YNB, family owned and operated since 1912.
The bank that makes things happen.
Yes, they do. And you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com if you need to go out and get a loan from them of any kind, whether it's a car loan.
Don't
whether it's
call
houses.
Randy if you need a loan right now. He's sunbathing. So
He's in San Diego. Didn't he go to San Diego?
he's somewhere in California.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure where.
What?
He doesn't release that information to the press exactly where he's at.
To the press. To the press. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
To the press. And, of
So-
course, we want to thank our other sponsors at IT Solutions, Collaborative Logic, my guy Mark Long over at SRB, any engineering, surveying, or planning, and, of course, our guy Jose Fierro if you need any.
The dump.
Yeah, well, he just dump truck. He's gonna get. He's gonna get
Just three?
Just
Thought we
three
had
right now.
four. Thought we
He's
had
trying,
four
no, he's trying to
coming.
add a 4th one there pretty soon. And then, of course, our guys Greg.
He might. 4 is required for a fleet, right? So
I
we'll
think-
almost be able to say he has a fleet.
He has a
of
fleet of
trucks.
dump trucks. Well, the
Right.
rate he's going, he could get there, but of course, he's just got to get them, keep them maintained, and that's his biggest thing is trying to keep them all maintained
Maintenance.
and on the road. He's like, Matt, I got, so every time I get 2 going, 1 goes down, get another one, I say, well, bro, welcome to the world of business, bro. You got to do what you got to do when you're an owner. It's
Growing
feast or
is
famine
expensive.
sometimes. So, but I'm proud of what he's doing. But that being said, Drew, what is your watching Chet? What is your grade on him thus far?
Probably give him a B-. He's been pretty good, but I mean he has his ups and downs. He's
Well,
up
first
and
of all,
down.
he's
And
had-
I think
he's
that's
had
what
one
I
up.
think that's what you're gonna see throughout the year. He's gonna have a good game and a bad game.
But Drew,
It'll be
he's only
good for a
had
couple
one
games.
good game.
Right.
He's had the
But
28-point
but
game. That's it.
What it boils down to, what are your expectations? My expectations are exactly what he's giving me:
Right,
11 points a game,
right.
10 points a game,
Yep.
5 or 6